world. So it is very philosophical. There's less stories in this section. So please stop me if you have questions. Most of this you probably already know because all of you know that you are not this body, you are the spirit soul. And that is the beginning of understanding the philosophy, the spiritual philosophy, because uh, everybody is thinking they're the body and they're going on their daily life, making money and thinking they can enjoy with that money and be happy, but they're not doing anything for who they truly are, the soul, right? So Krishna is going to explain what he already did in Bhagavad Gita, and he's telling Uddhava the same principles, going into more detail with Uddhava. So this is where we start. We are starting in the 10th chapter of the 11th canto, the nature of fruitive activities. So Uddhava is asking how to get detached from the material world, and Krishna is telling, taking full shelter of Krishna, like all of you are coming here to learn about Krishna, so that's taking shelter of Krishna. You could be watching TV, doing a million other things, but you have chosen to come and learn about Krishna. So Krishna is saying that's what is required, and to have love for Krishna, and then you can get out of the material world. You can disentangle yourself. So the material, uh, the people who are living only a material life, they are doomed to failure. So even though they do they're doing many things, they make a lot of money, they become famous, but one day they have to die, meaning they have to leave their body, and all that identity that they were working on is lost forever. So the best is to take care of your soul. That's who you truly are. And Krishna says those who are just doing fruitive work, like doing something and getting the results of it, they're just doomed, because life after life they've been doing the same thing, and sometimes they even don't get a human body, they get an animal body, and then they have to go through more suffering. So just going through these cycles. So that's why Krishna says the conditioned souls are doomed. Why are they called conditioned souls? Because all souls are pure. All souls are Satchit Ananda. The covering is what makes the impure. The consciousness is what everybody thinks, feels, and desires or willing. So that becomes contaminated for people who have no concept of being a devotee and does not know God, or even after knowing God, they're doing bad things. So their consciousness is contaminated. And this process of bhakti will purify the consciousness and let us know who we truly are. And we'll learn about the different qualities of devotees now. So, so devotees or for becoming unentangled, the best thing to do is to find a guru. And when you become a good disciple, you would be free from false ego, not thinking I, me, my all the time. What is in it for me? And always thinking about that. That you lose that. You understand that you are not the reason for all the results you're getting. Sometimes you get good results, sometimes you get bad results. You understand that you are not the doer. Then a disciple is not lazy. They're always trying to learn more and become better versions of themselves. They don't say that, oh, this is my property, get out of my property. They don't have that sense of proprietorship. They are loving towards everybody. They have friendship, they have a loving relationship with their spiritual master. They are not illusioned. If somebody comes to cheat them and say, hey, don't go to that, don't learn about Bhagavatam, let's go watch this movie at this time, they won't fall for that. They'll say, oh, this is the time for me to learn about Krishna, so I'm not coming, is what they'd say. And then desiring advancement in spirituality. So not only doing the material work, but also caring about who they truly are. They're free from envy. They don't think, oh, that person got a new car. Why didn't I get a new car? Why didn't I get a new house? Why didn't I get that nice toy? So they're not envious. And then they don't waste their time talking about useless things. Talking about, oh, did you see what she wore? Did you see she was looking at that boy? Did you see that boy was looking at her, that girl? And talking about all those gossips, that's all useless talk. So a good disciple does not engage, because time is very precious. We have to use it to get out of all this entanglement. So understanding the difference between soul and body, and this body is just a covering, is very important for spiritual life. Because any materialist, they think everything we do is for the body, but then they don't understand there's a soul. They just think everything ends with death. So the very important aspect to understand is this body is actually is living because the soul is present in the body. When the soul leaves, the body is just dead matter. So nobody, like the scientists or any materialist, they say there's no soul. But then there are so many proofs that there is the soul. There are out of body experiences. There are um, people who remember their previous lifetimes. There are so many examples, but nobody wants to care for all that. They're just looking at what they immediately need, something nice to taste and smell, and let me go touch this. Um, uh, Let me go enjoy. Let me go drink this, and they think that'll bring them happiness, but it does not, because everything will end when the soul leaves their body, and the whole life they were caring about their body only. So even though there are so many proofs, they don't understand that. But all of you, since you are learning about Krishna, and you know that you are the soul and not this body. So this, by knowledge you can destroy ignorance. Just like if you bring a lamp into a dark room, it'll light up the room. If you turn on your light, the dark room will the darkness will be gone. So some people, they turn off the lights and they're trying to look for things. They're touching everywhere to find their phone or something. All they have to do is turn on the light and they can find it. So similarly, ignorance can be destroyed when you learn, when you get the knowledge. And how do you get the knowledge? From a Guru Parampara or a Guru. And like we were doing Mangalacharan prayers, we were praying to all the wonderful gurus in our disciplic succession, from Srila Prabhupada to his guru and all the Vaishnavas. And if we trace back who told this knowledge, we can go back to Krishna and understand that. So knowledge is very important for understanding who we are and destroying ignorance that's causing us to be thinking that we are this body. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, so now there's a little deeper topic. So sometimes some people think that they are they can just do good things, like giving charity or doing good to others, serving other people. They don't care about God. But the only thing that can happen is that'll take you to the heavenly planets. You can fly in airplanes and be with apsaras. But then when the piety that you got from all the good activities is done, you'll fall down again. And that is this is what happened when you do good activities. When you do bad activities, just like saying lies all the time and speaking bad about others or hurting animals or doing all those, the effects is you'll get more and more material desires. You'll be miserly, greedy, lusty. You'll have a polluted mind. You'll be violent and aggressive. You think you have the authority to kill animals. There are people who would worship ghosts. Recently, we had the Halloween festival in America, which is mostly like worshiping ghosts. Like we have houses who have big skeletons and they're spending so much time for the ghosts. And so that's what's happening in Kali Yuga. Then um, people in impious activities, they fall into illegal activities. They go to hellish planets. Um, so their body is in tamogun, the lowest of the modes, and they always increase their future unhappiness when they do bad activities. Okay, so we are reaching the conclusion of the 10th chapter. So everyone is fearful of time because everyone, soon everybody knows with time you look materially beautiful. Suddenly, your hair starts going gray. Your very tight skin becomes wrinkled. Then you start getting white hair, and then your hair even falls off, like me. And then you understand that time will not wait for anyone. uh, Time, and with time our this body is dwindling. So what can we do before we all have to leave this world? That's very important. So don't waste time. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he's kalos me, he is eternal time. So we should respect time and not waste it. Okay, now let's go to the 11th chapter. So, where Krishna is distinguished between conditioned and liberated souls. So, those who have knowledge, they become liberated. Those who have no knowledge, who want to live in ignorance is bliss, and they are conditioned because they with their knowledge they cannot get over this immediate feelings of the body. They don't know anything better than that. So that is the difference between a conditioned soul and a liberated soul. And then with knowledge one can understand that we are actually present on this body. This is a covering, and in the heart we are present, and beside us there is the super soul or Paramatma, and it's compared to two birds sitting on a tree, and Paramatma is watching what the jiva is doing. And as you can see in this picture, the jiva's face or head is turned away from the Paramatma, and the the bird is trying to just um, eat the fruits of the labor of the material body. So what we want is this bird, that's the jiva or the soul, or to to focus on the Paramatma who is present very close to the jiva, because Krishna is so merciful. He doesn't leave us. He comes with us. And whichever body we get, he's coming and sitting right beside us. Okay. So now and now, what are liberated souls? So, liberated souls are souls who have got the knowledge, so they are never bound into bodily activities. They are only a witness because they know this is a covering. Um, they're they're situated, though they are situated in Prakriti, they are not attached to anything here in this material world. Just like the sky, sun, and air, the sun does its job by giving energy to the world. The sky is present, but it's not affected by anything that's happening. So liberated souls are like that. Um, they renounce all bodily activities, and think that it's just like a dream. because sometimes, we get affected by all that is happening. And it is said, like, if you're seeing a dream that you're in a desert with no water, and the experiments show that you will be sweating even though you're in a AC, you're seeing this dream and you're sweating. So similarly, in this material world, when we have sadness, we think we are getting affected by it and we are suffering, but we can choose not to do that, like the liberated souls. So liberated souls do not criticize others or praise others, and they are self-satisfied. Now the question is, are conditioned or liberated soul are the liberated souls the best? The answer is no, and we'll find out soon who are really the best. Just by having knowledge that you're not the body but you're the soul can make you liberated, and you can have all these symptoms, but still that's not the best. Okay, I ask the question.
So you said a liberated soul cannot be like attached to anything in this world. So let's say they have a mother, so they can't really be attached to her, right? But then
You as Krishna's child, and your mother is also Krishna's um, child. So if you love your mother, that's not attachment. It's part of your duty to love your parents, and and uh, uh, because um, if you don't love them or if you don't treat them good, that is not right. Because Krishna, whatever Krishna wants you to do, if you do, that's not a attachment. Because you're pleasing Krishna with your love for your parents. Okay, good question. Okay, so liberated souls, they're getting more knowledge with no they're getting into a liberated state because of jnana or knowledge or vidya. So then Krishna says, even though you have knowledge, without devotion or love for Krishna, nothing of this is useful. And the result of just knowledge is sayujya. There are different types of liberation, right? So there is sayujya, which is impersonal liberation. You want to merge into the energy of the Lord. You want to salokya. You want to live with the Lord in the same world, in the same planet, Vaikuntha planet. That's salokya. Then sarupya. We know the inhabitants of Vaikuntha have four hands, just like Jay and Vijay, who were taking care of Lord Vishnu's um, door. They look like Lord Vishnu. That's Sarupya. Samipya, this is even closer. Even though you're in the same world as Salokya, Samipya is a better liberation where you're living with the Lord. So there are so many such liberations, but devotees are the topmost. They only want to please the Lord and serve the Lord, and that is the best approach. Krishna says, um, not the liberated or the conditioned soul. Even higher than that are the devotees, like all of you who are trying to learn and love Krishna. So what are the qualities of a devotee? They are merciful, kripalu. They are never they never injure others. They forgive other living entities. They understand the meaning of life. They do not envy others. They're they're equal in dualities. If it's hot or cold, uh, sadness or material sadness or happiness, they're not affected by that. They um, they always think about the welfare of others. Their their intelligence is never bewildered by material desires. If they have a choice to serve Krishna or enjoy their senses, they will always serve Krishna. And when you serve Krishna will take care of your senses, because when you eat nice prasadam, it's tasty, and Krishna takes care of your need to have good food, because you're making your mom or and the temple, they're making nice bhog for Krishna, and after he tasted it, you're tasting the prasadam. Then they're controlling their senses all the time, because if you go behind your senses, they'd be like the chariot driven by the five senses, five horses taking in five different directions. You don't know where you're going. You're just going for a crazy ride, like a roller coaster that is going to hit somewhere and you're going to fall down and injure yourself. uh, but the but if you're controlling your senses with your mind can be your best friend, if you're always thinking about Krishna. So your behavior is pleasing, you're pure and exemplary, you're free from possessiveness, um, you never endeavor in worldly activities, you have controlled eating. So these are all qualities of devotees. You're peaceful, you're steady, you accept Lord as your only shelter. This is very important. This is the most important quality, because once you accept Lord as your only shelter, all other qualities will automatically come. And how do you take shelter? By spending every day doing mantra meditation or serving the Vaishnavas. So this is the most important quality of a devotee, accepting Lord as your only shelter. You're thoughtful, very cautious in the execution of your duties, because you want to please the Vaishnavas and Krishna. So you take what you want, what you're doing very seriously. You're never subject to superficial transformations, like getting old. You know that'll happen, and if you get a pimple, you're not so worried about it, because you know that's part of being adolescent, and it'll go away soon. You're steady and noble, even in a distressing situation. You have conquered over the six material qualities. You're free from desire for prestige. You offer honor to others. You're expert in reviving the Krishna consciousness of others. So not only being yourself a devotee, you are trying to make others a devotee, to share the happiness you have in loving Krishna. Then you're a well-wishing friend to all. You're very peaceful. You're able to show the harmony and compatibility of the Lord's apparently contradictory qualities. So sometimes you'd have to explain to others. They might say, "Oh, why there was an earthquake and so many people died? Why did God do that?" So then you'll be able to explain all that knowledge about karma and all that, and make them understand everybody has to go through the result of their karma, and God is always merciful. So all these, see a lot of contradictions in the world, and only a devotee can able to understand that and explain to others. So who are the best devotees in the world? And we know it's the gopis, right? So those who may or may not know the extent of my potencies, but who worship me with great possessiveness. And we know the gopis, they are not very knowledgeable in all the scriptures, and they're not reciting verses, but they have fully surrendered to the Lord. They only want to please the Lord. So that's the most important aspect. So how do you perform bhakti? See, touch, worship, serve, praise uh, my deity form and my devotees, is what Krishna is telling Uddhava. Have faith in hearing topics of me and meditate upon me, offer valued objects, offer oneself, since one is a servant. So all these ways one can perform bhakti. So how do you perform bhakti? What are the methods? And Krishna says, discuss my Janma and Karma and celebrate my special festivals. So Janma Karma Chame Divyam. And we have good Janmashtami festival. We discuss about Krishna's different activities, and this one is him talking to Uddhava. We celebrate yearly festivals. We perform initiation according to Vedic and Pancharatrika methods. So this is when you want to be serious as a devotee, you can take initiation from a spiritual master. You will get a spiritual name, and you'll be part of the disciplic succession. Then you observe Vaishnava vows, the four regulative principles. When one takes as initiation, one has to take vows that they will not eat meat, they will not take intoxicants, they will not gamble, they will not have illicit relationships. All this vows one takes. So it's just a formal way uh, of expressing your love for Krishna. It looks like Shreya and Srihariji have their hand raised. Do you have any questions?
Prabhuji, actually, we got the Jagannath Danda from
Hari Bol, very nice. So your house is um, like a temple because the Lord's Danda is with you. Very good.
it's from Jayapataka Swami Maharaj.
Hari Bol. Jagpataka Swami Maharaj is a great example of a wonderful Vaishnava and Acharya
Sent
who,
us about 15 times because they didn't see us go for the first time.
oh, okay. Jayapataka Swami Maharaj is very merciful. Even though he had many transplant, all his organs are from other donors, and he's still trying and serving everybody in Mayapur so well. So much we can learn from these acharyas. So what is our excuse when we have a healthy body? Are we using that in the service of Krishna? Is what we can learn from Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Yes, very good. Uh, so then Krishna mentioned about uh, so methods of worshiping in 11 places. Know that you can worship me in 11 places. One should meditate on my peaceful transcendental form with four arms and then worship me with fixed attention. So when you see the sun, you can recite verses. When you have a fire, you can offer ghee on the fire to do a good yajna. Then if you see brahmanas, you have to give them nice hospitality and reception. If you see a cow, you can feed grass to the cow. Devotees, you're respecting devotees. Space, you're meditating on the wide expanse of space. For air, you're thinking of air giving you, keeping your body alive as the prana. As water, you offer water to Krishna. As earth, you can say sacred mantras to the earth. Um, offering food to Atma in the body. So when you offer prasad, bhog to Krishna and eat prasad, you're actually offering spiritual food to your own soul. Okay, when you see all other souls, they are just other fragments of Krishna. So you respect everybody. So that's why Prabhupada said this Krishna consciousness is the best way to stop all wars, uh, because there's no fight between Israelis and Palestine. If everybody understands they are all souls, the bodily differences should not make us fight with each other. Okay. So what's the results of worshiping? If you worship and with fixed attention on Krishna, you get unflinching devotional service. Unflinching means something that breaks or something that's not perfect. But if you do the process, you'll get this this goal of pure devotional service to the Lord. Okay, if you don't worship, there is no means of escaping from the material existence. Anything that happens to you, you'll be full of stress, anxiety in this material world because This is a place of suffering, right? Yes. So now, beyond renunciation and knowledge, so how can we get perfection? Is by associating with devotees as much as possible. So Krishna also gives examples that even people of lower births, like demons, they have become great devotees, like Vritrasura. Even Prahlad, he was born in a demoniac family, but he became a great devotee. So it is not only confined to a person who is born in a nice family. Anybody can become a devotee. Like Gajendra, he's an elephant, but he was able to go back home, back to Godhead by doing devotional service. Okay. And then Krishna goes on to say, who are the best devotees? The gopis are the topmost. Okay, we'll go to chapter 13. So, method of producing knowledge. So, how do you conquer over the three modes of material nature? So, this is a story. There's in this philosophy, there's a small story. So, the four Kumaras, they asked their father Brahma, how can you break free from these material modes? We are all thinking about enjoying with our senses, finding something to nice to smell, eat, etc. So how to break free? Because we are naturally attracted to these things. And Brahma did not know the answer, but he prayed to Krishna, and Krishna came as a swan. And this swan is called the Hamsa Avatara of the Lord. And he explained to the Kumaras how to break free from the three modes of material nature. So who knows the three modes of material nature? Anyone? It's also called gunas.
There's tamogun.
Yeah, tamogun is ignorance. Yes, that's the lowest. What is the rajogun? Very good. That's the mode of passion. And what is the topmost material mode? Tamogun, rajogun, and mode of goodness. It's called?
Sattvagun.
Yes, very good. Shreyaji and Srihariji. Satogun is the topmost of the three gunas. And Krishna says, like the three gunas, you can, so a person in Tamogun, you can start giving them some focusing on Rajogun so that they can slowly come one step higher. And then those in Rajogun, you can tell them to do more Sattvagun or mode of goodness. But all these three are still binding. The topmost is Shuddha Sattva. That's transcendental, above these three modes. And and everything, anything like in this world, you can see there are scriptures in three gunas. The Puranas, like Bhagavata Purana or Srimad Bhagavatam, is in Shuddha Sattva, but then there are other Puranas that are in other modes. There is worship in the form of ignorance, right? Like there are terrorists who think that when they shoot others, they're serving God. So that's in the mode of ignorance. Um, so anything one does can be like there are times in times of the day also on three gunas, like the early hours, Brahma Muhurta is in Sattvagun, and during the day it's in Rajogun, like passion, and ignorance is late night is Tamogun. Yes, Shreyaji and Srihariji wants to make a point or have a question. Please go ahead.
Prabhuji, you came to India first, right?
Yes, I saw you there. Yes.
That was a Kerala spot, right?
There was a there was yeah, there was a Kerala. Um, they had a stall with all Kerala items where you enter. Yes, yes, and there was a nice Tamil Nadu one. And then I saw your dad was serving in that one of the Tamil Nadu stalls. It's very good.
Ayappa stall.
Yes.
Memphis Ayappa Bhaktas.
Oh, very good.
What is your point, bro? My point is, did he go to the Kerala stall? I didn't even see him in the Kerala stall.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't serving. They are actually, serving meat and all that. So
Oh,
I had some coworkers come, so I took them to every place, but I cannot have anything from the Kerala stall. So I could find some nice doshas in your stall. So I got that.
oh yeah. Okay. Ayappa. Yeah.
Okay. So let's conclude quickly so that we can go to the Kahoot. Um, so Krishna explains about pure devotional service, how bhakti is the topmost. So how material life is full of unhappiness, and the only way out is bhakti. And Krishna says how we can get out of these material modes is by practicing bhakti. Then he talks about Ashtanga Yoga, about the different forms of the 9 process of Ashtanga Yoga. Um, and, uh, and then he talks about the different siddhis. So there is a siddhi called anima, where you can become smaller than the smallest. These are mystic perfections. So Krishna explains all this, but then he always also says that bhakti is the topmost. But for a person who is doing meditation, they can get all these siddhis. But devotees are not lured by the powers that they can get. They're always wanting to just serve. So this anima is becoming smaller than the smallest. Mahima is becoming bigger than the biggest. Then lagima is becoming lighter than the lightest. And we know different instances where Krishna has shown all these different siddhis himself, right? So when Trinavarta came, he became lighter than the lightest, and then when he reached very high up, he became heavier than the heaviest, like Mahima. Then Prapti, one can attain this where like one can acquire anything they want, and then Parakamya Siddhi, whatever one wants to enjoy, they can get it. Isita Siddhi, one can manipulate the potencies of Maya. Vasita Siddhi, one can stop the like all the 3 modes, sattva, rajas, and guna, and the tamas are moving us like puppets. So they can even get out of that, can obtain anything from anywhere. So if you're sitting here and you want something from India, you can just reach out and get it if you have the siddhi. So all this is available, but devotees are not interested in any of that. Secondary siddhis like feeling oneself, freeing oneself from hunger and thirst is possible. There is, you can hear things that are happening very far away. That is one siddhi. Seeing things from far away, that is another siddhi. Then there is you can move the body at the speed of the mind. So just as you think you want to be in Kashmir, and you suddenly are in Kashmir. So this is all possible. And assuming any form one desires, we know Putana had that. She turned herself from a demoness to a very beautiful damsel who came to give milk to Krishna. So even demons can have some of these siddhis. So devotees doesn't want any of these mystic perfections. All they want is pure devotional service to the Lord. Okay, so there we conclude today's class and go to the Kahoot. Any questions before we start? Okay, so you can take your devices to play Kahoot and scan this pin. If you want to enter it, it is 3958133. Okay, unknown has joined. Wonder who that is. I think we need a Siddhi to understand who that is. All right, Narayan has joined. Okay, Santoshi has also joined us. Okay, Krishna devotee is in. Meenakshi ji, are you joining? There are 10 questions today. So we'll finish quick. Shroro. And is that Shreya ji? Who's Shroro?
That's Shreya.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we are waiting for Meenakshi ji and Sri Hari ji. Or are you both playing together with Shroro?
I'm Narayan.
Oh, you're Narayan. Okay. Meenakshi ji, are you able to join? Are you in? And I'm sure unknown is Nitin ji. So it looks like Meenakshi ji.
Meenakshi is not there.
Yeah, and she's not, she's muted also. Maybe she's busy. So let's get started. Okay, fruitive activities, conditioned and liberated persons, renunciation and knowledge, HamsaAvatar. First question, dash is a cause of failure as a human being. Eating prasadam, chanting the Mahamantra, material sense enjoyment, deity worship. Yeah. Senseless material enjoyment is the cause of all miseries. Okay. All of you got it right. What is the practical way of achieving a saintly position, reducing material desires, practicing Varnashram Dharma, taking shelter of Krishna, all of the above? Yes. Very good. All of you got that right. So today's class is successful. Dash destroys ignorance. Eating, fearing, sleeping, vidya or knowledge. Very good. All of you are scoring so well today. Okay, where can you get knowledge vidya from? Approaching a qualified guru, do self-experiments, learn from a bogus guru, all of the above. Okay, so I tricked you this time. All of the above was wrong. Don't always go to all of the above, because you cannot get knowledge from a bogus guru or self-experiments, because you'll go in the wrong direction. Okay, Shreya ji read all the answers. Very good, Shreya ji. Okay, dash causes bondage and dash causes liberation. Avidya causes bondage and Vidya causes liberation, or Vidya causes bondage and Avidya causes. Oh God, I'm sorry. This was in the wrong order. Actually, the people who answered this did it correctly. I'm sorry about that. So avidya is what causes bondage, and vidya causes liberation. So knowledge will give you liberation. Okay, merciful, no envy, pleasing, controlled eating, peaceful, respect for others, steady in bad situation are qualities of devotee or non-devotee? Yes, being a devotee, all these nice qualities will manifest in you automatically. Okay, Gopi was the best devotee among all the devotees. So that should be Gopi's word. Yes, that's true. Very good. Who came as a swan when Lord Brahma could not answer the question of the four Kumaras? Krishna, Narada, Shiva, Bali. Krishna. Very good. Attachment to the opposite gender causes the greatest enjoyment, suffering, pleasure, happiness. Yes, greatest suffering. So everybody is focusing on the opposite gender. And Prabhupada says that's what causes all the activities they do for the body. Last question for today. How many types of primary mystic perfection siddhis are there? 1, 4, 8, 100. Yes, correct answer is 8. That's why it's called Ashta Siddhis, the primary siddhis. And then there are many secondary siddhis also, but primarily there are 8. Okay, let's see who's on the podium. Krishna devotee, Ayana. Second goes to unknown or Nitinji. And first place goes to Shreyaji. Fourth place goes to Santoshi and Narayan. But everybody are winners, and we had a wrong answer also. But I'll correct that. Thank you so much for joining. Vancha kalpatarupascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. We have one more class of philosophy, and then we'll go to the next section of Avanti Brahman.
Actually, the thing was actually the same thing, but it was in a different order.
Yes, you're right.
I accidentally pressed that, but it came correct.
Because Krishna wanted you to win today, because you were not very happy last night. So, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Babuji.
Hari Bol.
Babuji. What is wrong?